This one says drop a perpendicular line, it looks like. So we're going to take our handy dandy whiteboard, which has disappeared. Thought I had it pulled up. I thought I had everything pulled up. There we go. All right, now let me pull up. Is this a test question? No, I don't put these on the test. I put them, the material I do, but I don't like this question because it wants you to, I don't know why they want you to look at a calculator, but they do. What I tell students here is I like the question, but I don't like the way it's presented with the calculator. I want you to look at a real triangle. But in this case, they want you to drop a perpendicular line down, and we'll do that in blue. Really, I never, ever use that thickness, and I want somebody to tell me how that thickness gets used when in the previous class I've been using real thin. I want to know how to change it. One day I'll get training and figure that out. Settle down, Pendleton. All right, so here we go. There's the blue line. And of course, we know that that's 3.2. And then of course, if we do the 6.7, I'm just going to draw a red line. And that is 6.7. But you don't use that. And again, I do this from the aspect of some people may not know how to do this. So 3.2 is the bottom, and 6.7 is the height. Everybody with me? So now you can use whatever you want to. I don't care what you use, but A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Therefore, C is equal to the square root of A squared plus B squared. So C is equal to the square root of 3.2 squared plus 6.7 squared. Somebody do that for me in your calculator, please.
Mr. McClure?
Yes.
Our screen's frozen.
Was that Pendleton?
No. Easily.
Easily? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you out. I need you to X out, and then I'll bring you back in, okay? That usually is what fixes it. There, they're bringing down. Evidently, somebody didn't turn off. You've got to X out of the, and Pendleton's bad about that. My class is in Pendleton, they'll just walk out the door. You got to X out of the application. And somebody didn't do it easily, evidently. Easily, is that better?
Yeah. It's working.
That's what happened. When y'all came in, was everything already up on the computer?
I don't think so.
Skype? Okay.
Oh, yeah, the Skype was up.
Okay, that's what happens. If you don't X out, so please, Pendleton, Oconee, and Easley, and I've said this with all the, not just this one, make sure you X out of Skype. Therefore, the next class won't have any problems. Okay. Somebody, what'd y'all get when you took the square root? Square root of 3.2 squared plus 6.7 squared, what'd you get? Okay, I got 17.42. Is that what y'all got?
Yes, sir.
Somebody else verify?
Yes.
Okay, so we know the hypotenuse is 7.42. Now you can do anything you want. They want to know the angle between the line and the x-axis. So we'll take our handy dandy Verde, and there is the little man. So the little man has got his foot on the adjacent, and the hypotenuse. Oscar had a hump. I would use the cosine. Cosine of theta is equal to a hump, 7.42. Now, could you have used Oscar had, you could have used Oscar had, you could have used the sign. I don't care. Okay? The main thing is that you understand how to find it. Divide by the cosine, which means multiply by the inverse sine. Somebody do 3.2 divided by 7.42 and take the inverse sine of it and tell me what you get. 64 point what? Did somebody else get that?
I did.
Okay, we got 2 people getting it, so that means chances are y'all not setting me up. So let's go ahead and type in, just say round to the nearest tenth, 64.5. And we feel good about ourselves. Now, of course, I'm going to change this to magenta. Now, I'm doing this because I want you to understand, it says purple, but it's not, it's magenta. I could have went Oscar had sine of theta is equal to Oscar had 7.42 and do the inverse sine. Somebody do that and tell me what you get. Should you get the same thing? Yes. Tell me what you get. Did you get the same thing? Okay, got the same thing. Somebody confirm it. Name another person. Take the inverse sine of 6.7 over 7.42.
I got the thing.
Okay, now let's try this one. Do the tangent. We'll do it in that Tennessee volunteer orange. Tangent. Oscar had a hunk of apple. 6.7 over 3.2. Inverse tangent of 6.7 over 3.2. Somebody do that. Get the same thing. Now, why am I telling you that? Because I don't want you to be confused and say, well, I don't understand how you know whether to use the tangent, sine, or cosine. It all depends on what you put your little man right here. You put your little man right there, or put theta, whichever one you want to call it, and then that means adjacent, hypotenuse, opposite. You pick whatever you want.
So you really didn't even need to solve for that question.
Didn't even need it. But the reason I do that is because when we get into the practical applications, you're going to need to use the Pythagorean theorem, and that's why you always do it. When we get to polar coordinates, that's the first thing you do. So I'm trying to, just tell everybody, beforehand what to do. I hope that helps on that one, because somebody sent several of those, not the same person, but there were several of those sent. So just for giggles, I'm going to pick the next one if it's not the same person. Well, I think they're all the same person, so she might have hit it like 2 or 3 times. Miss Patel, you didn't send it like 4 times, or was that a mistake? Okay.
What?
Ma'am?
What did you say?
I've got 4 of the same questions from you. Did you accidentally hit it 4 times, or?
Yeah, like the first one didn't went through, so I had to try again.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you told me that, because that's I see a lot of repetition with some of these questions, and that's why. This is number 8. Okay, number 8. Is this a test question? Oh, yeah. Anything having to do with practical application, yes, it is a test question. So it says security camera is mounted on the wall so to have a good view, blah, 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 blah. The angle of depression of the lens, angle of depression is from this right here. Okay? Find it. I'm going to go ahead and get what? I'm going to go ahead and get the hypotenuse, because I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to draw it on the board a little bit bigger for you. Well, no, I'll just make it bigger. Well, some of you haven't done your homework yet, and you can put this in the notes so you can do your homework. So, somebody take your handy dandy calculator and give me C, square root of 5.32 or 11.29 squared plus 5.32 squared. So somebody do that for me so I can go ahead and fill that out.
I got 12.48.
Somebody get 12.48? Okay. So now you have whatever you want. Now, this is the angle of deflection. Angle of deflection. So if you find this angle, or if you find this angle, you can find that angle. It's like a puzzle. All these questions in 9.4, just like statics, just like dynamics, just like physics, you're taking a puzzle and you're filling in the pieces. So, I'll do this one. There's my little man. So that means that's opposite, that's adjacent, and that's hypotenuse. I don't care, pick one. Sine. Sine of theta is equal to Oscar, 5.32, over 12.48. And somebody find the inverse sine of those two numbers. Division. What do you get?
25.
25.23 degrees. 25.23. Now subtract that from 90. And that's going to be what? 64.77?
Yeah.
So this angle right here is 65.77. And of course, alternate interior angles, you can use alternate interior angles or you can use subtraction. What is the angle of deflection? 25.23 degrees. So every one of these questions is like a puzzle. So if you suck at puzzles, the first thing you need to do is lay out all the pieces and then start working on the corners and the what? The edges. When you're working on these, you got to fill in everything that you can. That's why I teach the hypotenuse first, to find that first. And let's see. Who's got a question on this one? I got 25.2. Does it say to the nearest hundred? Okay, 25.2 degrees. And do you feel good about yourself? I do. Okay. I don't know what that is. Did I not hit? Okay. There we go. Hope that helps. Mandy, does that help? Because I know you'll talk to me.
I think the only thing I was confused about was like how you know which angle you're looking for, if it was the top one or the bottom one, but I think I get it now.
Okay. Well, let's do another one. If you sent it twice or somebody else sent that one, let's see. Let's say, now did you hit the button or did you just send it twice?
Accidentally hit it twice.
Okay. Let's see what this one says. Is it the same? Yeah, about this the same. Okay, I'll delete those two. Maybe the next one will be a little bit different. Okay, this one says number 9. Oh yeah, this is a test question. Oh, I love putting these on the test because they discourage you and make you quit. The angle of elevation from a point on the ground to the top of a pyramid is 22 degrees 50 seconds. The angle of elevation from a blah, 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 blah. Find the height of the pyramid. Find H. Okay. I'm gonna write a hint up here. Anybody know the hint on this problem?
Don't do it.
Yeah, quit.
To quit. I love that. I need to make that. Similar what? Similar triangles. Similar triangles. Actually, if you were given this distance, you could figure the height. Or, if you were given, but I'm going to take my handy dandy highlighter, and here is one triangle. Everybody with me?
Mm-hmm.
And here is the other triangle. Hold on a second. Let me read. Let's try that. There's one triangle, and the other triangle is where?
Here.
There's your two triangles. Now I want you to draw them separately. That's the first thing you do when you get one of these. Draw the triangles separately. So I'm going to take my handy dandy blue pen, and I'm going to draw that one. And then I'm going to use yellow just to piss people off. Right?
Thank you.
I can't see. And there's that one. Does anybody want to say it? You can't see it? You can? Oh, there's always one. Okay, now, let's fill in the blanks. 2250. And X and H. 147 plus X, H, and 16, 10. Okay, we're going to change H. Because that is a dumb variable to use when you're talking about hypotenuses all the time. So we're going to change this to Y. Don't y'all agree?
Yeah.
I think that would be, so that's the difference between a teacher writing a book or a problem and a computer programmer writing the book or the problem. So we're going to make that a Y and a Y. So there's no way, is there any way we can get a number for the hypotenuse of either triangle? No. There's no way. Why? Because these are not numbers and these are not numbers. So go up here and write down another hint. There's no way to find the hypotenuse. This is an indicator. These two things are indicators. The similar triangles, and there's no way to get the hypotenuse. You're going to have to set these two guys equal to each other. How do I do that? Well, what do we have? We have, since we have the little man down here, and since we have the little man down here, we have the what? Adjacent and the what? The opposite. So which trigonometric function gives us the opposite and the adjacent? The tan. So go ahead and, so the tan for the yellow, and we'll write in yellow just to piss people off. The tan for the yellow is tan of 1610 is equal to Oscar had a hunk of what? Apple. 147 plus X. And now let's do the blue. The blue is going to be tan of 2250 is equal to y over what? X. Okay, any questions so far? And it's very important that you understand this problem because you're going to see 4 or 5 of them on the test. Not so much for that idea. Now, solve the yellow and the blue equation
Just that
for y.
calculation.
Solve the blue and the yellow equation for y. So you just got to multiply through by the what? Got to multiply through by the common denominator. So, can I copy this? Let's see if I can copy this. Copy. I hadn't had training, so let's see if we can copy this. Copy. Copy. Yeah, I can copy. Whiteboard. Hey. Y'all are impressed, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, smart ass. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm just glad for the claps. Thank you. That means y'all can hear me. That means you don't hate me as much. Although one of the Pendleton girls talked to me today, and I don't know if she got clotheslined or what when she went out of the room. I don't know. She got beat up when she went out in the hallway. So, Pendleton, you better not say too much. You might get beat up. I did have one girl get clotheslined, though. I was teaching at the Pendleton campus, and I had some Bubettes and Bubbas in the front, and I had some Barbies in the back. Usually the Barbies sit up front. But in this case, I was in the second floor of 208, 206, one of those. And the Barbies were in the back with their compacts and their makeup and all that stuff. They didn't listen. All they did was talk about, getting an MR degree and makeup. That's all they worried about. And I asked a question on the board, and I said, just like, what is X? And one of the Bubettes said, and I think she was from Tomasi Salem, she said, X is equal to 4. And I said, yeah, I could understand how you got that, but I said, that's incorrect. And you ever notice when you, in a public setting, whether it's church or in a meeting, and things get real quiet and somebody says something? Well, it got real quiet, and the two Barbies were talking about something, and something was said about she being stupid. Well, the Barbies did not have any clue what was going on in class. That she was talking about somebody being stupid. Well, the Bubette, what did she think? She thought the Barbie was talking about her. So class got over with, and I'm sitting there, and Oconee Hall, it has the desk up front, and then the doors over to the left. I was sitting at the desk doing whatever, getting my stuff together, or whatever, and the class was leaving, and all I saw was a blonde blur. That Bubette had sat outside the door, right out there where that light switch is, and when that girl came out, she clotheslined her. And that Barbie hit the floor, and when she hit, in the hallway of Oconee Hall, it's not carpet. She hit that linoleum, and buddy, it didn't crack her open like an egg, but it knocked her out. We had to call security and 911. So you better watch what you say in class, Pendleton, because that girl just talked a while ago. Now she might get clotheslined. Please don't clothesline her, Pendleton, okay? She's trying to communicate.
Me or was it you?
Listen, I have all kinds of stories to tell. Let me tell you.
Let me.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put these two equal to each other, and I'm going to write them I'm still going to write them in yellow. I'm not trying to make you mad, just trying to show you something. So x plus 147 times the tangent of 1610 is equal to y. Everybody should have got that. And then the blue should be x times the tangent of 2250 is equal to what? Y. Now what can you do if both of these equations are equal to y? Set them equal to what? Each other. So that's what you're going to do. Now I'm going to write in black. So I'm going to I got to distribute this. And that's going to be x times the tangent of 1610 plus 147 times the tangent of 1610 is equal to x times the tangent of 2250. Okay, now what? Now you have nothing but an algebra problem. This is just like 4x plus 6 is equal to 8. I'm sorry, equal to 2x. What do you do in this case? What do you do with this pre-algebra problem?
Isolate the variable.
Isolate the variable. Thank you. Next time, a little bit lower, okay? Because it's just blowing my out here, okay? Take the 2x to the other side, right? So I'm going to take this guy across the what? Across the river. And that gives me x tan of 1610 minus x tan of 2250. And what am I going to do with this guy? I'm going to take him across the river and he's going to become a negative. Negative 147 times the tan of 1610. Really? One day, I'm going to have training and I'm going to learn how to use this thing. See, I was raised on CAD, and when you go from left to right, it only does part of the word. If you go from right to left, it does the whole block. And there's no kinds of sequence and no kinds of method to this, and we don't know because we've never been trained, so I just try to adapt as much as I can. Anyway, what do you do if you have two x's? What do you got to do?
Right.
Quit?
Yes.
Quit's good. I'll accept that as an answer. Quit and throw your pencil down and make it pop on the paper. That's what you're supposed to do. Or turn the desk over, or kick the cat. No, kick the dog. Don't kick the cat.
Flip the trash can over.
And then go in and tell your mom and dad that you want to get a degree in global studies. Factor out an x. You get tangent of 1610 minus the tangent of 2250 is equal to negative 147 tan of 1610. And now what I do to get x by itself?
You
Divide by
divide.
all that stuff. So I'm going to divide by all that stuff. And then I'm going to divide by all that stuff. And now the calculation that you need to be doing in your calculator is negative, or forget about the negative, just leave it out front. 147, or take the tan of 16 may be negative. Tan of 1610 times negative 147, put that on top, and then divide by the tan of 1610 minus the tan of 2250. Now I need y'all to do all that, and I need 2 people to confirm the answer.
Thanks.
I got 324.93.
That don't sound right. Keep calculating. Something don't sound right. Because there's no way. Oh, wait a minute, it's a height. I'm sorry. That's X. Okay, what'd you get?
324.93.
324.93. Somebody verify that. Or give me another number.
I got close.
What'd you get?
I got 325.
Okay, I got 325 point what?
67.
325.67. Somebody verify one of those 2.
I may have rounded too much.
What?
I may have rounded too much.
Okay, well, somebody check. Somebody give me another. Is somebody get either one of those numbers?
I got the second one, 324.93.
Okay, we'll go with that one because that's what? That's X. But now, I'm just going to say 324.9, if that's okay with y'all, since we're not designing O-rings for the space shuttle. We're going to go with 324.9. I'm going to get out of this, and we're going to say X is equal to 324.9. Now you can find what? Y. Because now you've got A, you've got O. You're trying to find O. Oscar had a hunk of apple. So the tan of 2250 is equal to Oscar had of apple 324.9. So somebody tell me what 324.9 times tan of 2250 is.
136.81.
Hold on a second. Tan 2250. What'd you get?
136.81.
Somebody verify that?
I got that.
Okay, so we know that the pyramid is 136, which is not very, it's not Egypt. It must be one of those smaller ones because dang old pyramids of Giza, dang old 7 stories tall. Well, that would be about right. 140, yeah, that'd be 20 stories. No, be 7, yeah, that'd be about right. Somewhere in there. Shut up, Hubert. So I'm going to punch in 140 feet or 137 feet. I don't know. It says to the nearest integer, so that'd be 137 feet. Let's see if we feel good about ourselves. We feel good about ourselves. So we don't have to drive around with the back end of our truck down on the ground, which looks totally stupid.
I'm not squatted. Yeah, Carolina squat.
Looks like you ever seen a dog scratch his rear end on the carpet? That's what those trucks look like. Please don't raise your hand and say you got one, please. Just don't do that, please. All right. Y'all are all educated people. Next, everybody, y'all want to do another one of these?
No.
Or do you want me just to erase them and not put them on the test?
Yes.
Fuck. Let's do this one. This one's sent from somebody else. And I'm going to let y'all do this one.
I'm going.
Christmas.
I'm going to blow it up for you.
Which ring us?
Oh, did anybody watch the American Horror Story 1984 last night?
I was too busy doing homework.
Oh, yeah. You scholastic you scholastic academic god, you. Let's just go ahead and put you in global studies. You can be with AOC in the Senate. Or the House, I'm sorry. Ooh, that girl was it wrong? I don't know how that girl ever graduated high school, much less college. I bet you there's some people up there that say, y'all know when I tell about spelling race car backwards and mom backwards? That's who I'm talking about. And what's sad is I say AOC and some of y'all have no idea who I'm talking about.
Give you this one. Times 700 gives you this one. And then you just subtract this. You subtract this one from that one. And it gives you that one.
I have to go by and get me some more vodka today. Y'all got me drinking double.
Nice.
Actually, I'm not a vodka drinker. Depends on who I'm with. If I'm with a bunch of former Marine buddies, I'll drink bourbon, and that way we can fight each other. Other than that, if I don't want to fight, I drink tequila, and that no telling what I'm gonna do when I drink tequila.
Makes your clothes fall.
Tequila makes her clothes fall off. Guys, it lets them dance on the table. Yeah. So, Coney, how we doing? Y'all with us?
Halfway.
Well, y'all got to talk to me. I've got Pendleton talking. Easley's kind of quiet. I'm worried about Easley. Why are you quiet on me, Easley?
They don't like.
I didn't hear.
They don't like? Okay.
That's probably my mind.
You don't like me? Oh, Coney, you hate me too? Yeah, they
Yeah.
That's all right. I got sunglasses. I'll put some smokestacks on my truck, and I'll feel good about myself. I'll take care of any overcompensation issues I have. I'll go ahead, and I'm going to draw in black because it's hard on the eyes. I will say that blue and that yellow is hard on the eyes.
Oh, it is now.
Yeah, I don't want to punish you. 40 degrees, 40 minutes. And this is, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to call this Y. $189 plus X, Y,
Here's the area of a right triangle.
29, 20.
It's just in terms of.
Let me ask y'all a question. Are you going to use tangent on any of these? Yes. You're always going to use the tangent because you're trying to find the opposite and the what? Adjacent. So you're always going to use tan. When you see one of these problems on the homework or the test with the two triangles, you're going to use the tangent unless it asks for something else. So let's see if I can copy this. There we go. Group. Copy. Whiteboard. Copy, paste. And don't. Thanks.
Just right.
There you go. So now you got all this whiteboard to work with.
Most you have to use like the integer times or added.
So I'm going to set you up. So the tangent of 2920 is equal to Oscar had a hunk of apple. Fucking cool. And tangent of 40 is equal to y over x. Now, what's the two next steps? Solve for y and set what? Set them equal to each other. Now, by golly, y'all should be able to do that.
Oh no, by golly.
If you can't, then we all know what that means.
Okay.
Failure, disappointment.
Yeah, sound like thumbs it up.
I'm just blown away. They're talking, man. I just don't know how to feel. What are y'all on drugs? Y'all took y'all Xanax this morning or what?
Yeah.
You know, if you ever go to the grocery store or Walmart, you can tell when rednecks get paid. Because they are so happy when they get paid. Stop by a convenience store on the 15th or the 1st. Oh, they all happy. It's like they on drugs and Xanax and beer at the same time. They all happy. But show up about the 22nd or the 25th. Boy, they hate the world. But on the 31st and the 15th, they all happy. Next time y'all go in the convenience store, y'all gonna think about that, ain't you? And they don't buy just one pack of Marlboro Reds. They buy like 15, the whole carton. Oh, I don't see how anybody does that. I'll tell you, I can get by with a lot of stuff, but I just can't see that. Whew. That's some hardcore stuff. I'm not talking about social smoking, you know, when you're drinking. I'm not talking about that. These people that like eat like cigarettes. That's ugh. Oh, how many packs a day you smoke? 3. Yeah, when they cough after their lung comes up.
Nice.
Just think, Patrick Swayze would still be with us if it hadn't been for Marlboro Reds.
That's a good video.
It was a good.
So here we go. Let's go with, I'm going to turn it around because nobody writes it like 189 plus x. So x plus 189 times the 10 of 2920 is equal to x times 10 of 4040. And they're both equal to y, so I'm just going to no sneezing in class, please. Okay.
All right.
I wish I can't understand what they're saying because the microphone cuts them off. I don't know, is it my hearing or what? Must be my hearing. I'm old. X times tan of 2920 plus 189 tan of 2920 equals x tan of 4040. Okay, now solve it. And the reason I'm saying solve it, some of y'all were waiting on me to set it up, so I went ahead and obliged. No coughing in class. You need to lay off them Marlboro Reds. Oh my God, if I see one more person smoking on that gum news, I think I'm gonna just throw up. They have shown so many people blowing smoke out of their, I ain't gonna say nothing.
Well, they're banning them now.
Well, if you stupid, no, I'm not gonna say stupid, I'm talking about those, the
Very smart
bubble
people.
gum and the popcorn and the,
Oh, you don't have a jewel?
yeah, they put those OILs in there. And the OILs go into your lungs and turn your lungs into barrels of OIL, and then you don't know why you can't breathe. Can't breathe because you got OIL in your lungs. I don't say OIL because there's always some smart ass out there. You didn't say it right. Well, I don't say it, I just spell it. And now you're saying it to yourself to see if you say it that way.
I say it weird.
So,
OIL.
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
There you go. And then there's some smart aleck, the Pennsylvania person. Oh, you don't say it right. It's spelled, you say it oil. And that's where it comes from. Oil. Oh, you mean foil. That was the best F. I still remember writing that F because back then you didn't have computers. You just wrote the letter beside, and I just put F, F, F. She never did come back. Did I tell y'all that story?
I don't think you told us that.
I didn't tell you the story.
You told us about her, but
Yeah, there was about 5 or 6 Bubbas on the front of the class, and she just thought it was so funny to make fun of people when they talk. And she would make fun of the Bubbas and the Bubettes, and they started getting irritated. And that day she said, oil, foil. She said, foil. Oh, you mean foil. And they just all laughed at her. She ran out crying. She never did come back. Somebody came and got her books 2 days later. And I gave her an F because she didn't drop, so I gave her an F. I just wrote F, F, F.
she won by the pencil.
Yeah, she was a prime example. She could dish it out, but she couldn't take it. Yeah, Mr. McClure, I do not understand what you are saying. I'm saying F-O-I-L. Oh, you mean foil. All right, X, 10, 29, 20, minus X, tan of 40 is equal to negative 189 tan 29 20. And then, of course, I'm going to divide by X tan 29 20 minus X, not X, sorry. I'm sorry, I messed that up. You're going to factor out the X. And it's going to be tan of 2920 minus tan of 40. And somebody crank that out and give me X, which will be right here. So somebody tell me what X is. Cinnamon roll, protein bar. Good food. What do you get?
I don't know.
You want me to calculate all that?
Yes.
No, I'm not doing it. I done got my degree.
I'm not doing it.
I wish the screens were bigger so I could see where those voices are coming from. They coming from Pendleton? I am assuming they're coming from Pendleton, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wow. Oconee, settle down. I gotta tell Oconee and Easley.
How they know how it
Yes.
Easley and Oconee hate me now. What did I say? What did I do?
What do you say?
What, I didn't talk about y'all while we were, I didn't say anything about y'all.
Good thing.
Hurt my feelings. Okay, what'd y'all get? Oh, come on, you had like 15 minutes.
It's fine. I give up.
What is 10 or 29?
I give up. I heard that. I give up. All right. I guess I better take the calculator since y'all can't work the calculator. As soon as I get started, you're going to call her out the answer.
Jesus, how does it go from degrees to minutes?
I just do
What
that.
happened? How are them with this?
Okay. Okay,
Okay,
10. I'm going to do it. Here we go. So nobody say anything now because I already started. 10 of 29
She used the form.
math or second apps. Oh, not second.
57,
Degrees.
20
20 minutes.
Let's put that in.
Second apps.
Putting a minus sign on the other.
Darn.
That's probably why I got the answer wrong.
Times
On number 9.
189. Somebody tell me if you got this for your numerator. Negative 336.4666. All right, we're going to stow that. Where do you go get bread? At the stove. So we're going to stow that in alpha. No, it's got to be negative. It's got to be negative. So negative, we got to go back. We're just going to stow that. Stow. I got to call it negative. Negative, inverse, answer, and enter. There we go. Now we're going to stow that in alpha denominator.
So just
Alpha D, or numerator. It needs to be numerator. Where is the N? I can't see these letters. Where's the N? Over the log? Okay. Horse pucky. I hit alpha, didn't I? And there we go. And enter. Okay, so I've got that stored. Now we're going to do the bottom. So I'm going to hit second, enter, second, enter. There we go. Tan of blah, blah, blah. Delete. Times or minus 10. Might as well just go ahead and hit 10 again. No, it's not going to do that. Let me start over. I'm sorry. I'm trying to save me from typing because with this daggum mouse, it's very aggravating. All right. Minus 10 of 40 degrees. Second app. 40. Second
I'm going to get a 0 on
half
this.
degrees. And close parentheses.
We get that, guys? I think so.
I got 1.95. So we're going stow and alpha D. And now I just take clear alpha N divided by alpha D. And I forgot where D is. Is that D?
I think he's storing his calculators.
Is it above the X minus 1? I can't see these. If y'all can't see my calculator, I guess I'm crazy, but I can't see those blue and those green letters. Can y'all see them?
No, I'm just looking.
Okay. I'm not that blind. I got 172.01. What'd y'all get?
Next question.
Okay, did y'all get 172 or did y'all even try?
No. Oh, no, I tried. I just had different numbers.
Okay, I have no idea whether it's the right one or not. We're going to, what'd I say? 170 what? One what?
2.
Oh my gosh, can y'all not write down the problem? I know I can't remember it, but good gosh, you ought to be able to write it down.
You got like negative.
Negative don't matter. I don't care about the sign. Because we know distance can't be what?
I was
Negative.
right.
172.01.
See?
Now, 172.01 goes right here. 172.01. So, the tan of 40/40,
Just the two separate right triangles, so you have to like.
40/40 is equal to y over 172.01. Somebody take tan of
Yeah, just that one.
440, 40, and multiply it by 172.01, and that should be your height. Somebody do that for me.
But
Would it be negative 172 or would it be positive?
Distance can never be negative. I just had a sign wrong.
Okay, cool.
How many of you been on the highway and seen negative 150 miles on a sign? You don't have negative. I just had a sign wrong.
All right.
Might have not have typed it in or something.
195 miles.
So what'd you get?
147.
Okay, I got 147.7. What'd y'all get? Somebody else get one?
I got that.
Okay, so let's go back to the handy dandy question.
Right there it is, 1100 miles.
And I gotta find it. There it is. It says round to the nearest integer. So 147 or 148? Oh, what'd you say?
148.
148.
Okay, 148, because it round up. And we're wrong, so I must have got something wrong.
Oh my god.
I put in what?
307.
307? Yep. So what did I do wrong?
That was calculated.
Okay, calculator. All right, I calculated something wrong. It's 307, but the whole setup is right. You come over here and try to type on a calculator with a mouse, okay? It's already hard enough with your dadgum finger, much less a dadgum mouse. It's the Russians.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back and did that one. That's number 9, number 9, number 9, number 12. Number 12. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Boy, y'all just whining. Don't whine. A plane flies 1.2 hours at 130 miles an hour. So multiply those two together on a bearing of 10 degrees. So it's that one right there. Okay. Then it turns and flies 6.8 hours at the same speed. So that's 6 times 130 right here. At a bearing of 100 degrees. How far is the plane from the starting point? So they want to know the hypotenuse. Yeah, I'd quit on this one. Why? Because it's too much to read.
Agreed.
Next, they're going to be asking us to read a tape measure.
Really?
Yeah, in South Carolina, high school graduates can't read tape measures.
That's going 36, 56 miles.
But we can tell you who was the first person that did this and who was the first person that did that. All right. So, this is 90 degrees right here. Somebody tell me what this angle is.
80.
Okay, we know that this angle is 100 degrees. 100 degrees, so we know that that angle right there is 10 degrees. And I'm just doing that for a reason, okay? And we know that 1.2, somebody multiply, let's say 2% is 13, 13, 26. So that'd be 156. Somebody see if that's 156.
That's right.
Yes.
156, and then 130 times 6.8, 6 is going to be 780, and then 8 times 3. Okay, y'all do it. I can't do it in my head. Go ahead. What's the second one? What? 884. Okay, looks like to me we're getting two sides but we gotta figure out where our,
It's just 1.3 times 150 miles an hour.
that's supposed to be 90 degrees up there. I just wonder if they're making sure it's not, one of these degrees is 90 degrees, but we know that's probably going to be, this is more, let's see, that's, 180, and one of them's 90, so I'm trying to figure out, it looks like this one's 90, but you can go ahead and use your, Pythagorean theorem, because we know it's set up at 90 because we haven't, law of sines and law of cosines, we don't have that, so we can't use those, so we know it's 90 degrees. How far is the starting point? So go ahead and do that one.
Calculator was right.
What's happening right now?
I don't know.
You don't know? That's the 90 degrees, because if you take alternate interior angles, that's 10 degrees. This is what? 80 degrees. 80 plus 10 is what? 90. And what's 90 from 180? So there's a degree angle. You got to use a little bit of that geometry that you gaffed off in high school. The alternate interior angles, you got to remember that. So now, it's just what? Pythagorean theorem. This is a drill to see if you can actually figure out the puzzle. So somebody take 884 squared plus 156 squared and take the square root of it. Tell me what you get. 890 what? 898. Somebody got 898? And we feel good about ourselves. Now, let me erase this and show you what I did. If I can, because, and some of you that have no idea what I did, you need to pay attention. Okay, we know that we got a cross line right here, right? Does everybody agree with that? You know, a north arrow has an east and a west arrow, west arrow, east arrow. Okay, if you draw this out like that, everybody agree with that? We know that this angle right here is 10 degrees. How do we know that? We know it 2 reasons. We know that this is 100, and what's 100 minus 90? 10. So that's 10 degrees. We also know that this angle is opposite this angle, which is alternate interior angles, or alternate exterior angles. We know they match. Okay, the second thing, this is 180 degrees. We know if you draw this out, if this angle alternates with this angle, then this angle alternates with what? This angle. And we know this is 80 degrees, so this is 80 degrees, so therefore, this plus 80 plus 10. And 90 from 180 is 90 degrees. So you know that's your 90 degree angle. And at that point, the Pythagorean theorem kicks in and you get 898. So that one is not really a trig problem. That's more of a geometry and Pythagorean problem. Is it a test question? Hail to the yeah.
So how do you get 898?
Pythagorean theorem. I'll show it to you right quick. Hold on.
Yeah, a squared minus plus b squared equals c squared. Yeah.
Yes. Do you need me to show you?
No, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right, that's number 12. God, we're back to number 2. This thing don't put them in order.
Simpler.
Okay. Yes, this is a test question. Solve the triangle. Find the measure of A. Okay, the reason I like this question is because it moves the little man. Where's the little man on this one? Up here. Little man is right here. So you're finding theta up here. That means that this is the opposite, and this is the what? Adjacent.
And it's just
Okay?
there.
How'd you get?
24.6.
Okay, have they left out something, or am I missing something?
It's called.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I was fixing to say I'm missing something. Hold on. What? There's no way what?
I didn't think it like cut off part of the problem.
Yeah, it did when I enlarge it so they can see it. Okay, my bad. Now let me go back and let me just start over because I had part of it off. Okay, here's my little man. That means I'm finding this angle. All right. In this case, you don't need to do anything except what? Subtract from 90. Because this is 90. So we don't need that. We know that all triangles equal what? 180. So we know that 90 degrees is left. So 90 minus 35.0891 is going to be what? 54.0109? Something like that.
54.57.
54, what do y'all get?
91.
91?
Oh, no.
09?
Sir.
Okay, you got questions, ask them. And we type that in down here so we can feel good about ourselves. 54.9109. I ought to come up. What the heck? 54.9109. I'm gonna go. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? One day I'm gonna go up there to Pendleton and teach up there at Pendleton. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Yes.
Come on.
Then I'll come up there to Easley, and then I'll come up there to Oconee.
That sounds fair.
Throw stuff at me. All right, let's check it and see if we're right. We feel good about ourselves. All right, let's see what time it is before y'all explode. Okay, we got 4 minutes, right? How much? What time's class over? And Mandy, what time's class over?
35.
Okay, thank you. I'm not going to ask y'all. Y'all tell me freaking 15 after 12. Hurt my feelings. 2:13. All right, let's do this one.
No.
Oh yeah, this is a test question. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna call the roll after this one. Why y'all put y'all stuff up? That hurts my feelings.
Because we're done.
Hey, go. Y'all know how to hurt a guy's feelings.
I'll do it with you, Mr. McClure.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Kiss up. Brown noser.
I can't wait. I want the Pendleton campus to talk to the other 109s and God, they just sit there like a tit on a bull. Yeah. You ever seen Patrick Starr when he's confused?
Yes.
That's the way the Pendleton campus do me on the other.
Starfish.
Y'all don't know who Patrick Starfish is?
Yes.
He's the guy on SpongeBob that should be beaten with a bat. Because he's so stupid. I know, it's the point. I know, I just can't, it just drives me bananas. Because
I don't
there's
think we have
actually
time to do
people-
this one today.
You don't think we're gonna have time?
No, I think we should do it. I think we should wait so I can really understand it.
Oh my God.
I'll second that.
Now I'm starting to see why the Pendleton campus don't talk. They're too lazy to talk. Okay, I'll start it off. How about that? Okay, a surveyor, look at there. A surveyor lays off RT, which is 53.1. I'm not going to say meters because nobody uses meters. With angle T, 3150. 3150. Now this is actually a good problem, except for the meters. And S is 58 degrees, 10 seconds, 10 minutes. Find length RS. Okay, so you know this is 90, so this is equal to 90. So you got all the angles you want. You want to find this, so your angle, I'm going to put my little man right here. So that means adjacent and hypotenuse, which we don't need. We want to find the opposite. So which one has the opposite and the adjacent?
Tangent.
Tangent of 3150 is equal to, Oscar had a hunk of 53.1, so multiply both sides by 53.1. And somebody give me that angle. I'm sorry, that distance. Tangent of 3150 times 53.1. How much?
32.96.
Did y'all get 33? Mandy, what'd you get?
Yeah, I got
33.
32.96, so yeah.
Okay,
I
33
got
feet.
32.9.
Okay, it's 33 something. Okay, we'll worry. I'm not going to delete it. We'll worry about it next class. Okay, let me turn the recorder off.